Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Teddy G, and on this channel I like to share my journey into growing my clothing brand, as well as dropping tips, tricks, gems and all of that good stuff. In today's video I am going to be sharing with you guys exactly how to start a clothing brand, but not to only start a clothing brand, but to start a sustainable clothing brand, and all of the things you need to think about when considering sustainability in your business. I'm going to keep the intro really short, so let's dive straight into it. So if you're looking to start a sustainable clothing brand, which I really think that you should definitely consider, especially given that we are living in a world where fast fashion it's not really good. It's not good for the environment. Sustainability is definitely something that you need to consider. So the first thing you're gonna want to do is actually define your brand's missions and values when it comes to sustainability. Now what I mean by that is, when it comes to sustainability, there are loads of different aspects that you can tap into. Of course it will be better if you tap into each and every one, but sometimes that's not possible. The different things that you can consider tapping into when it comes to starting a sustainable clothing brand are things like, what is it that you want your brand to stand for? Are you all about promoting ethical sourcing? Are you only considering using eco-friendly material for your packaging, or eco-friendly material for the fabrics that you actually use for your clothing brand? Or are you looking into supporting fair trade? Clearly defining your brand's mission will help guide you along the way when creating this brand sustainably. So what I will do is take a moment, sit down and brainstorm the things that mean the most to you when it comes to sustainability. Next, and probably most importantly, you're gonna want to carry out an extensive amount of research. Now in this video I'm going to actually help you out a little bit, give you a little head start when it comes to researching sustainability. Your research will need to be based around your missions and your brand values. So let's take a look at ethical sourcing. When I think about ethical sourcing, I'm thinking about ensuring that the factory workers that are actually manufacturing my clothing are being fairly paid. And the way I can begin to ensure that this is happening is actually exploring manufacturing companies that are closer to home. This means that I will be able to carry out site visits and actually see the people that are working there, see the conditions that they're working in, have conversations with the people that are working there. If you're based in a country like the UK, there are laws in place that ensure that workers are actually being paid at least minimum wage. It's things like this that I would consider when I'm looking into ethical sourcing. If I am considering going abroad and I've got the finances, I'm also going to take that plane abroad and check the factory that I'm working with there and see the conditions that they're working in, and I'm going to take a look at what sort of certification that they have. I'm going to start having these conversations and actually being on the ground and making sure that I am absolutely aware of where my garments are actually coming from. A disconnect tends to happen when you remain behind your computer screen and you only communicate with these manufacturing companies over the internet. You won't really truly know where your garments are coming from. But having said that, even when you make these visits, you can never really be 100% sure, but at least you have done your own due diligence, I can never say that word, to ensure that you are happy with the place that your clothing is being manufactured. Next, and probably easier to actually control, is ensuring that you're using eco-friendly material, and that goes for your packaging as well as the fabric that you're using for your clothing. So in terms of packaging, you're going to want to be avoiding plastic as much as possible. So that means not using polymailer bags, not using those plastic clear garment bags, not using plastic when it comes to your hang tags and all of that. You can even minimize the amount of hang tags that you use. For example, Shiva, we have 3 cards. That is completely unnecessary. I could cut that down and improve my business when it comes to sustainability. Because we're not using polymailer bags, which is probably the most common type of of way to ship your garments, you need to think about what alternative packaging you could use. So me personally, I would suggest looking into corrugated boxes or paper mailer bags. Paper mailer bags, I'm a little not into those because I feel like with a lot of delivery companies, they've got a really bad habit of leaving your delivery outside. So if a paper mailer bag gets rained on, obviously it's going to get destroyed and your garment's going to get destroyed. So I would probably lean more towards corrugated boxes. But one thing you're going to want to make sure you're including in your packaging is ensuring that your customer is recycling this packaging. So have like a little note on there saying that this can be fully recycled. Make sure you recycle me. Just encouraging your customers to then recycle your packaging once they complete their customer journey. Now, when it comes to fabrics, avoiding polyester is honestly the way to go if you really are trying to be sustainable, because polyester is plastic, and plastic, as we know, is not the best for the environment. So we need to avoid it completely. If you do want to use polyester, obviously there is a way around it. You can consider using recycled polyester if it is a fabric that you really want to use. Obviously this is polyester that has been made using recycled plastic, or polyester that's, you know, already been there and you're now just repurposing it. But to be honest, I would just avoid polyester altogether and consider natural fibers. So I'm talking about your cottons, your bamboo, your silk. And when I'm talking about cotton, we even want to take it a step further and consider organic cotton, because when the cotton is not organic, it means that the cotton growers have used pesticides when the cotton's been growing, which of course is not good for the environment. So definitely consider using organic cotton for your clothing brand if you do want to give that nod to sustainability. So definitely take a moment, research your packaging, research your materials, ensure that you are using the most sustainable types of fabrics and materials that you possibly can for your clothing brand. Next, we're going to move on to the design and the production process of it all, and the different things that you can put in place to ensure that you're being as sustainable as possible. So obviously we're going to design our clothes, and we should have a good idea as to what exactly it is we want to put out there. You know, we're going to exercise our creativity, and this is the fun part. But when considering sustainability, obviously we have to think about what kind of garments can actually be made using the sustainable fabric that we have already researched. How can I produce a garment with bamboo, for example? Like, what things do I need to put in place in order to produce a garment using 100% cotton, for example? I've mentioned it before, but the reason why I would strongly consider working with local manufacturers is that not only can you make those site visits, you will also reduce your brand's carbon footprint. So obviously the further the garment comes from, the more of an impact that garment is going to have on the environment as it comes to you. So manufacturing locally will definitely cut down that carbon footprint. I apologize again if you can hear some background noise. Office neighbor, fake wall. Now, one key thing when it comes to production is ensuring that you are creating a tech pack for whatever garment it is that you want created. I do have a tech pack guide, so I will have it linked in my description. But the reason why you need to ensure that you have a tech pack is because a tech pack actually fully explains to your manufacturer exactly what it is that you want manufactured, which means that you are going to save on the back and forth. You are going to save on the amount of samples that manufacturer sends to you. This means that you're going to cut down on the amount of wasted samples that you're receiving and that your clothing manufacturer is making. Another key thing that you're going to want to consider is your order quantities. Now, I would keep my order quantities down at 30 to 50 pieces. Have limited drops. This means that you're not going to have products just sitting in your inventory not selling because you have ordered a limited amount of products. You can even take it a step further and actually have pre-orders for your clothing brand. I do have a video about that, so I'm going to try and link it up here. You can have pre-orders so that you know that what you're manufacturing is actually going to get ordered and it's not going to go to waste. Obviously, we're going to go through branding, we're going to do our marketing and all of that good stuff. But when it comes to distribution, so getting our product to our customer, we can even take it a step further. So say if you're selling online, we could take it a step further and actually only process local orders within the UK, for example, if you're in the UK, which means that we are again cutting down on that carbon footprint of that particular garment that you're sending out to your customers. So you could be as extra as you want when giving that nod to sustainability. So when starting a sustainable clothing brand, it's not just about making the clothes. It's not just about, you know, saying we're sustainable. There's quite a few things that go into it to ensure that you are being sustainable. So your packaging, your materials, where you're making the clothes, and where you're sending the clothes to the end customer. So guys, I really hope that you have enjoyed this video and it's given you a little bit of food for thought when it comes to creating a sustainable clothing brand in 2024. So I wish you guys good luck and I will catch you in my very next video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like this video and share it if it's something that you feel like you want to share. Okay.